And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all or no gender, my name is Ryan Willard, and welcome to the virtual edition of the 2020 Soho International Film Festival. Now, what about SIDESTEP?
Hey, I'm Natasha Straley. I'm the writer-director of SIDESTEP, and our lead actress is here.
Hi, I'm Katie Hutch.
Hi, Katie.
So SIDESTEP was, my life. I'm between Texas, New York, and LA, and
Wow.
I feel like this 10-minute film kind of expresses my feeling of what is home and missing different places. And yeah, it's kind of like my life in 10 minutes.
I love that. Okay.
We had quite the journey. We were actually scheduled to shoot, I think, in June, and we had to cancel and reschedule and like reorganize everything and moved it to September. So those added months gave us a lot more time for prep. And Hutch, it gave her some more time for prep, which was really good. And I guess we only shot for, did we shoot for 2.5 days?
I think it was 3 full days, but we had like clombed on the end of one. We were like, oh, we're going to squeeze in some shot. It might've been 2.5. It was very tight.
I feel, yeah, it was. We just like rocked and rolled. And then I think we had one pickup day. So yeah, which Hutch was back in New York by then. So we were shooting both in New York and in Texas.
Oh, wow. And how big was your crew?
I want to say we had about like 15 probably. I feel like that's a magic number. And then as far as everybody involved though, there's like definitely over 100. And we had amazing background actors that came and contributed their time. And it was
more like a community than any film I've gotten to be a part of, where I just came and was like, oh my God, I'm a Texan now. This, like, everyone's just backing the whole thing. It was very cool.
And have you ever lived in Texas? Was that your first time going to Texas?
That was my first time going to Texas. It was delightful.
And this is going to wrap into the next set of questions that I have when we come back. But like, what was your process like to explore something like that and to find that character?
Well, Natasha and I got to spend a lot of time talking, and it was nice because we were like racing for the June film date. So then when that fell through, we were like, cool. This feels like this is what the process needs. Because my personal journey had similarities with where Natasha was writing this from. And then it was just immersing myself, finding any little corner of New York City where I could find to feel like a dance hall and be like, I'm a dancer, but I'm not as familiar with good old-fashioned Texas sidestep. Who can I work with that's going to translate this? And was taking like salsa and merengue skills that I have to be like, all right, if I don't swing this as much and straighten it, it can be better. So that by the time I got down to Texas, like I said, everyone was insanely welcoming and just sweet and kind, that I was getting people to like just swing me around the dance floor in between all the takes to be like, let's just practice and rep, get me some more experience and try this. And by the end, I really felt like I was like, oh, I have this new spot in my heart for Texas that I never knew that existed. It was delightful.
Awesome. I love that. Okay. Tell me about your collaboration process with your directors, actors, and your talent and your crew.
Sure. My approach to directing is to just get out of the way and let my crew and talent be amazing, and then sort of like rein them in as we go. So we had an incredible DP on this, Antonio Cisneros, and he came in with these ideas, and I was just like, yes. Everything he said, I was like, let's do it. Let's make this happen. And, it was a beauty working with Hutch and really digging into the character and the motivations behind each scene and finding the subtlety of the moment. I think that the team just created that. It's all crew, man. It's all crew.
Also very humbly us underestimating what she brings to the table. She doesn't always have that many words that she sets up, but Natasha's a director that when she enters the room, you feel her set the tone. and you just like, you feel like she's got your back. You've got room to play and try stuff, but she keeps you on track. And it really does feel like she gets out of the way, but she's setting the energy so much that everyone wants to work hard, but feels comfortable testing things out enough that all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, was that a spark of magic? Wait, there was another one. What's happening? That you're just normally feels so forced and earned and worked for. And with Natasha, it's always just like you show up and she's like, here's some sparks. Do you want to play?
Oh my God, thank you.
And Natasha, do you see that happening in real time, or are you just so in the moment and that you don't really realize the magic that you have until you watch it back later?
I over prepare ahead of time, and I get like super tedious with all of my notes and my shot list and everything. And then really when I step on set, I just surrender and let go, and whatever happens, I just want to be open to it and let it be. And I feel like the people that I surround myself with, all these great cast and crew, bring something to the table that I could never have imagined myself, and that just elevates the story and the whole process.
Yeah, oh, it absolutely worked. I love that. What's next for Sidestep, and where can we find you and Hutch and the whole team?
Yeah, so this is the beginning of our run. So we're actually in 3 festivals this week. So it's been quite an adventure, just like juggling, and thanks to Zoom, I've been able to attend all 3. So that's good. Yeah, so we're in consideration for a few other festivals. So we'll definitely be announcing that on our Instagram, which is sidestep_film. And you can also follow me at Natasha Straley, and that's on all the social media platforms. My next project, I'm polishing a feature that lives in the same world as Sidestep. So that's in the works, and hopefully that'll be up and running by next year is the goal.
Awesome.
And Hutch?
I pretend I know how to do social media, but it's primarily Instagram. You can find me at Katie the Hutch. And well, this was a beautiful, wonderful experience to do with Natasha. I typically write and do comedy things, so it's good for an odd, weird little laugh.
I love that. Okay.
Thanks.
Well, again, thank you all for bringing us your film to the Soho International Film Festival, and thank you for taking the time to meet with us and answer all these questions. I hope to see you at the mixers, and I hope to see your next work. And thank you to everyone who tuned in to the virtual edition of the 2020 Soho International Film Festival.